Good morning everyone. This video is for the students of class 12, subject economics. In this video, we shall read a chapter number 7, that is aggregate demand, aggregate supply and related concepts from macroeconomics, and this is my lecture number 3 for chapter number 7. So, in previous lectures, we have already read about aggregate demand, its components, then aggregate supply and consumption function. Now in this video, we shall read about saving function and relationship between propensity to consume and propensity to save. So first of all, let's start from saving function. What is saving function? See, we know that income is equal to consumption plus saving, okay, which implies that a part of income is either consumed or it is saved. Okay, the whole income is either consumed or saved. Now, the functional relationship between saving and income is called saving function. Okay, so obviously we know that if income is equal to consumption plus saving, then there might be some relationship between income and saving. Okay, the relationship, functional relationship between income and consumption is known as consumption function. Similarly, the functional relationship between saving and income is known as saving function. Now, we have already read about consumption function in our last lecture. Okay, from this consumption function, we will derive our saving function. See, in consumption function, when income was 0, consumption is 20, that is autonomous consumption. When income increases to 50, our consumption also increases to 60. Okay, at these points, there is no savings. Now, when income increases to 100, consumption is also 100. So, at this point, consumption and income both are equal. And when then income increases to 150, consumption increases to 140. Here, people have started saving a part of their income. So, we know that saving is equal to income minus consumption. So, when income is 0, consumption is 20, your saving will be 0 minus 20, that is minus 20. Okay. Now, when income is 50, okay, consumption is 60. So, the saving will be 50 minus 60, that is minus 10. When consumption and income both are 100, at that time 100 minus 100, saving is 0. And then when income increases to 150, and consumption function is 140, at that time 150 minus 140 is 10, that is saving. So this is the saving function. In starting there is negative saving, then after a break-even point, after a point where income and consumption are equal, after that point there is positive saving. Okay, now have a look on saving function through diagram. If you will notice that saving is given on y-axis and income is given on x-axis. In starting, our saving was minus 20. So here it is starting from minus 20. Then there is a point at income level 100. Our saving is 0. Okay, at income level 100, saving is 0. And then 150 income, there is 10 saving. So this is the point that indicates when income is 150, our saving is 10. So this is the saving function. So there are a few observations that we noticed from the tabular and diagrammatic presentation. First is saving is minus 20 when income is 0. Because when income is 0, our consumption is 20, which indicates that saving is minus 20. Okay. Then we notice that saving is positively related to income, because rise in income leads to rise in saving and fall in income leads to fall in saving, or we can say vice versa. Then we notice that saving is always lower than income because it is only a part of income. This means that we do not save the complete income. We save just a part of our income. So saving is always less than income. It will never be more than income. Okay. Then we notice that S line is a straight line. It is a constant slope which indicates that S function is a linear function. Now we shall study slope of S line. Slope of S line refers to the rate at which S increases, that is saving increases in response to given increase in income. It is measured as the ratio between additional saving and additional income. Okay, what is S line? Slope of S line, it is the ratio between additional saving and additional income. It refers to the rate at which saving increases in response to given increase in income. Or we can say this is also known as marginal propensity to save, or we can say MPS. Okay. Now have a look on this S function, saving function. Okay, in initial stages our saving is negative. Why? Just think why our saving is negative. See, when income is zero, there is some minimum level of consumption, that is autonomous consumption. From where do we do that consumption? We take the income from savings. Our income is zero, then from where we are doing our expenditure? We are doing our expenditure from our savings. Okay, that is why at zero level of income there is negative saving. Then when income is 100, our saving is 0 because at this point income and consumption are equal. Income is equal to consumption. There is no saving. Okay. After this point, people start saving a part of their income, and that's why when there is increase of 15 income, there is increase in saving, that is 10. So slope of line S line is given by increase in saving divided by increase in income. By how much our saving is increased? Our saving has increased from 10, and by how much income has increased? 50. So the answer is 0.2. This is slope of S line. Okay. Now, APS, that is average propensity to save, and MPS, that is marginal propensity to save, are different concepts. Okay, what is APS? APS, that is average propensity to save, is the ratio between total saving and total income. Okay, average propensity to save is the ratio between total saving and total income, that is S divided by Y. Okay, whereas MPS, that is marginal propensity to save, is the ratio between additional saving and additional income. And slope of S function is indicated by MPS, that is marginal propensity to save, where we take the ratio between additional saving and additional income, not by APS, that is average propensity to save. Okay, this means that S function is given by MPS, not by APS. See, as I told you that APS, average propensity to save, is the ratio between saving and income, and marginal propensity to save is the difference between change in saving and change in income, that is increase in saving and increase in income. Okay, so when income is 150, saving is 10, then APS will be 10 by 150, 0.067. And when change in saving is 10 and change in income is 50, means saving is increasing by 10 and income has increased by 50, at that time MPS, that is marginal propensity to save, is 10 divided by 50, that is 0.2. Now have a look on algebraic presentation of S function. Saving is equal to minus C bar. C bar refers to autonomous consumption minus C bar refers to saving, plus 1 minus B, B refers to MPC, into income. Okay, so C bar indicates the value of C when Y is 0, that is autonomous consumption, whereas minus C bar indicates value of S when Y is 0. Okay, C bar denotes consumption, minus C bar shows saving. So when C bar is 20, minus C bar, that is saving, that will be minus 20. Okay, now 1 minus B. Okay, B we know B is 1 MPC. Okay, so 1 minus B is MPS. Okay, because MPS plus MPC is 1. If I take MPC as B, so MPS will be 1 minus B. Okay, so consumption function is given by 20, that is autonomous consumption, plus 0.8, that is MPC, into Y. Saving function will be given as minus 20, that is saving, plus 1 minus B, 1 minus MPC, into Y, that is different level of income. So saving function will be given by minus 20 plus 0.2 into Y. Now we will look on how to derive S function from C function. Okay. See, this was a consumption curve and this is our saving line. Okay. We know that at zero level of income there is minimum consumption. So consumption line of function starts from point 20. At point this where consumption and income are equal, they both meet each other, which is known as break-even point. After beyond that point there is positive saving, and that's why consumption function is below the income curve. Okay, now if you noticed, when income was 0, consumption was 20, our saving is minus 20. So saving line will start from minus 20. Okay, minus 20. Now on the break even point, when income is equal to consumption, saving will be 0. Okay, when income and consumption are equal, saving will be 0. So on break even point, saving will be 0. Okay, from break even point I have derived that saving is 0. Now beyond that point, when income is increasing, consumption is increasing, but at decreasing rate, because there is a saving of 10. So this is the point where it shows that there is positive saving. Okay, so this is the derivation of S function from C function. Now have a look on relationship between propensity to consume and propensity to save. Okay, propensity to consume refers to ratio between consumption and income, whereas propensity to save refers to the ratio between saving and income. Okay, propensity to consume shows relationship between consumption and income. Propensity to save shows relationship between saving and income. Now there are two types of propensity to consume and two types of propensity to save, that is APC, average propensity to consume, and MPC, marginal propensity to consume. Okay, what is APC? APC is the ratio of total consumption and total income, whereas MPC is ratio of increase in consumption in response to increase in income. Okay, and similarly, there are two types of propensity to save, APS and MPS. APS is average propensity to save, that is ratio between total saving and total income, and MPS is ratio between increase in saving in response to increase in income. Okay, so basically there are two types of propensity to consume, APC and MPC, and two types of propensity to save, that is APS and MPS. Now what is the relationship between them? See, Now see, there are two relations between propensity to consume and propensity to save. The first one is APC, that is average propensity to consume, plus APS, that is average propensity to save, is equal to 1. And the second relation is MPC, marginal propensity to consume, plus MPS, that is marginal propensity to save, is equal to 1. Now why so? See, APC plus APS is equal to 1 always. How? See, we know that APC is equal to ratio between consumption and income, and APS is equal to ratio between saving and income. Okay, we also know that income is equal to consumption plus saving. So when we add APC and APS, we get consumption plus income plus saving plus income. Okay, on adding we get this, taking LCM we get income, and here on the numerator side we get consumption plus saving. As we know that consumption plus saving is income, so here I have written income upon income is equal to 1, that is cancel and is equal to 1. Okay, so we get that APC plus APS is equal to 1 always. Okay, now the second relation is MPC, marginal propensity to consume, plus MPS, marginal propensity to save, is equal to 1 always. See how. Marginal propensity to consume is increase in consumption divided by increase in income, ratio between change in consumption and change in income. And marginal propensity to save is change in saving divided by change in income. We also know that change in consumption plus change in saving is change in income. Okay, so when we add both these terms, we get change in consumption divided by change in income plus change in saving divided by change in income. Taking LCM, we get change in consumption plus change in saving divided by income. As we know that the change in consumption and saving is equal to y, so from this equation we get change in income divided by change in income, which gives you 1. So we get that MPC plus MPS is equal to 1 always. Okay, now have a look on numerical. See, if personal disposable income is rupees 1000 crore and consumption is 750 crore, find out average propensity to save, or we can say APS. Okay, what is given? Personal disposable income is given, that is 1000 crore, and consumption is given, that is 750 crore. We have to calculate average propensity to save. See, we know that saving is equal to income minus consumption. What is income? That is 1000 crore. Consumption is of 750 crore. So we have calculated saving, that is 250 crore. Now the question arises, why have I calculated saving? Because I was asked to calculate APS, that is average propensity to save. So save means saving. Okay, so that's why I have calculated saving, that is 250 crore. Now APS is equal to total saving divided by total income. So what is total saving? 250 crore, and total income is 1000 crore. So APS is 0.25. Okay, this is the numerical. Now the second question is find autonomous consumption, that is C bar, and total consumption when saving function is given by S is equal to minus 100 plus 0.5 Y and Y is 1500. Okay. Now, what is given in the question? We are given that income is equal to 1500 and saving function is given by minus 100 plus 0.55. Okay, we know that what is saving function? Saving function is minus C bar plus 1 minus B into Y. Okay, so what is C bar? That will be 100. Minus C bar shows saving and positive C bar shows autonomous consumption, that is 100. So the first part is solved. What is autonomous consumption? That is 100. Now if you notice that 1 minus B is equal to 0.5. So B is equal to 1 minus 0.5, B is equal to 0.5. Now we know that consumption function is given by C bar plus By. Okay, C bar is 100 that we have calculated above plus By. Now B is 0.5 and Y is income, that is 1500. So we get consumption is 850. Okay, I hope it is understood. So your homework is you have to read chapter number 7 of macroeconomics completely. After that you have to do the following numericals. The first one is from the following schedule compute APC, APS, MPC and MPS, where income is 50, 100, 150, 200 and saving is 10, 40, 75, 120. From this table you have to derive APC, APS, MPC and MPS. The next question is the disposable income is rupees 1200 crores and consumption expenditure is rupees 800 crores. Calculate the APC. Next, if saving is rupees 500 out of an income of 5000, how much is the APS? If disposable income is 1000, rupees 1000 and consumption expenditure is 750, find out average propensity to save. If income is rupees 500 and savings are rupees 100, calculate APC. When income rises from 1000 rupees 1000 to rupees 1100, saving rises by 30, find out MPS and MPC.